like a lot of these events that we do, man, a lot of the good, like we tend to do events to want something to benefit ourselves, right? Certainly you come to events to give too, but at the end you don't give a lot without somewhere inside of you thinking one day this is going to turn into something, right? What's cool is like as you do a lot of these types of events, the thing that happens, one, isn't the thing you wanted. Two, a lot of times it's better. And three is like sometimes it's with someone you didn't expect, and it's way down the road. You know, it's like sometimes it doesn't work out exactly like you drew up, but you can look back and be like, thank God I stayed at that fucking event. Or you know what I mean? And even now, sometimes when I go to leave one, I left the real estate one early. I went in with a mission, meet the guy, do that, and left. I can sit back and go, had I stayed at his house till 2 a.m, I could have made more connections. But I chose to I just, you know what I mean? But I certainly think about it. I'm like, shit. You know, so we've had a lot of things. A lot of my dots have connected through stuff like this. Yeah. And in ways I definitely didn't fucking map out. You know?
He has no desire to go to Mexico. But I know that's how we grow.
Yeah. It's funny, I say yes to a lot. And then when it comes time to like, I have to like get in the car at 5 a.m. and drive to the airport. I'm like, I don't want to fucking go. Yeah. I'm like, can I fucking, and I'll be like, should I cancel? I know I won't, and I can't. But in my head, I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking do it either. Yeah. But I know when I'm in the moment, I love it. It's the headache around all of it that I don't love. And then after something dope will happen, she'll be like, I know, you fucking told me so. I got it.
I do that with everything outside of the things. And my wife's like, why do you do that every time?
Yeah.
So it's so funny.
Yeah. It's funny. So part of it's
pretty early today, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is so early.
Yeah. Yeah. It's no joke. And sometimes goes late. I mean, this isn't gonna be end super early, but it's not crazy. It's not 2 a.m, but it's still a full day.
2 a.m. Wait, yeah. I missed that part. What was that?
I said we're not gonna be one of those.
Oh shit.
Some events do. You ain't never been to an event that late?
Nah, dude.
Stop it.
Till 2 a.m?
Bro, I could tell you 100 I've been to that late.
Man.
Yeah, see? This is like the norm. Insurance events. Really? Fuck yeah, dude.
What are the wrong events? Where are those invitations?
Or like, look, it's a film set. I do overnight film set.
I did it. Yeah. I don't know. I grew up in the business in hotels. Just going to meeting events in the meeting, and then when you're done, you all fucking sit out. Yeah, you sit out in the front lobby, and everybody meets again, and then a few more people, and then you all meet in the parking lot, and you meet again, and then a few of us are like, fuck it, want to go grab a bite, and then we go to Ruby Tuesday, whatever, and we eat again. You know what I mean? It's like, and it just, for us, even locally, it just became, one, we were doing meetings to present the opportunity to people, right? So dude would run it, we'd try to fill it. But then when we were done, we all wanted to fucking game plan, what went well, what went bad, what do we do next week, war stories, who's in the field, you know what I mean? We're all trying to learn from each other too. No different than y'all are here trying to learn from each other. Well, when we got started, and she probably grew up in the business the same way, them fucking meetings started at 6 p.m. You know what I mean? Yeah. 6 p.m. on a Wednesday night, you go downtown to the hotel and the meeting starts. That bitch ends at 11 or 12. Yeah. And then the after stuff happens after that. Yeah. You know, I was at a fucking hotel in not the nice part of Atlanta for, it was every Wednesday night for, she'd be long out cold by the time I got home. I was down College Park area in Atlanta every week till we got the office. So probably all of 2012, all of 2013, and the beginning of 2014, 2.5 years. Every fucking Wednesday night. Every Wednesday night. Yep. And then we got the office and we sort of changed it. But then we travel to events, big events, go to Cody's event, go to his event. Cody goes to bed at 8 o'clock. Dude, this shit don't end at 8 o'clock though. You know what I mean? Especially when you're at a restaurant, you're at a meeting place. We tend to, and my model doing this thing was, I'm going to try to be at the event first. And I'm definitely going to be the last one to leave. Especially when I was trying to gain the information. You know what I mean? It's like it turns into more in-depth conversations with people that you can't have when it's a group setting. You know what I mean? And I've learned a shitload of stuff after midnight in this space. Everyone who taught me everything was at those meetings. And those are the ones that stuck through it. You just try to learn the business and learn how to do it. And you find a group of people like this. What I like doing stuff like this is y'all can connect. You know what I mean? If you're not trying to figure it out with each other, it'd be crazy. You know, some relationships will work, some won't. But it's hard. I mean, it's hard to get into my world where if you're not like trying to do good things for people, you know, and I try to do my best to eliminate the rest. But yeah, for us, I have many meetings. God knows when. Hell, even us preparing for some of these meetings, we'll travel and we'll fly wherever. We tend to go in the day before. So we have time to so I don't like to get up at 4 a.m. and run straight to a meeting and then do a meeting. I'm like, I'll go in the night before and kind of slow roll the morning a little bit. But a lot of times, she's like, I don't know how many times they asked what I was speaking about at this thing. They changed the date on when I had to finalize the agenda. How many times y'all moved that down the field a little bit more to print the things? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm just gonna talk. I'm gonna do me. And they're like, yeah, I know, but we have to make a fucking agenda. I'm like, I get it, right? And so I push that till the end because I don't want to sit down and formalize it. I'm like, I can fucking just do it off the top of my head. So, but that's not good, right? So we spend time. When we travel for events, I'm the same. You'd be like, what are you speaking about? You asked me at the last event. What are you talking about? I'm like,
got me doing it now.
I was like, I don't know. I'll figure it out when I'm walking up there. Straight up, I don't prep at all to give talks. I have no idea what I'm talking about tomorrow. I don't know what I'm talking about at his events when I go to his. Yeah. And he lets me speak for a long time.
Dude, I let you go until I'm like, he tapped me last time. He's like, he'll go till tomorrow.
Don't stop unless you make.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, but they know me like that, and I'm not offended. If you're like, hey, dude, your time was up 2 hours ago, I'm like, okay.
No, dude. It's like him keep talking or just like let some dude get up there and like use some platitudes or something like that. It's like, no, man. Like, keep going.
Yeah.
Like, even my time, I'm like,
He does. He'll sacrifice all
dude,
of it.
he came in and we got a camera. I'm like, all right, John's here, so I'm going to go for another 10 minutes, and then John, get you mic'd up, and we'll be ready to go.
Yep.
And then lunch came, and I was like, and he's still going, and that's when Reese was like, he'll keep going forever. And I was like, yeah, let him keep going. And if I am like, okay, the food's going to get cold. So, John, I got behind the camera. I'm like, 5 minutes. He's still going. Then he goes and does his David Goggins thing, right? Comes back drenched in sweat. She brings him the salad. And he's like stuffing it on the patio. And guys just start sitting down around him like campfire. And they go, we were late for Top Golf because of him. You know what I mean? So, and he just keep talking. Everybody just sat there and listened. And they're like, man, it's your event. You can kind of do it. It's like, well, I mean, he's just given so much of the value.
Cool. Yeah, what else? What do y'all, whatever I can help with. Whether you have questions for something someone else is doing that you think is worth sharing or anything I can help with. You know, I just want to continue to make sure we help y'all fucking knock some of these goals out. So the show is yours. Whatever you guys need help with or anything you want, or we can just go play ping pong and not talk.
I do have a question.
Yeah, please.
I got a guy that I'm, bringing on with me, and so right now I'm, kind of helping him as far as like paying for things to get going, helping him out with leads and stuff. And I guess I think once I'm able to help him once he gets those first couple sales. Just kind of looking at whether he just takes that money and you've talked about pays those bills, or whether
I was literally thinking of it right now. You've heard my shit a few times. Yeah.
It's just like, if he turns around and doesn't reinvest it into this, so I'm not going to just like kick him out. He's but it's like
Is it a friend?
He was somebody that used to work with us.
Okay.
That I think will be good in the space, but. So I guess my question being, your experience in the past when you've really financially helped somebody get into this, how many times does that tend to work out? How many times do you just feel kind of burned out?
It almost works, almost never. But when it does work, it works really good, and it makes up for all the times it didn't work. Right? Like I always during this conversation, explain my wife. And the way she looks at things has helped me in this specific scenario. You ever get off the interstate, pull off the interstate, and you got that kind of long off ramp before you get to the little basic local ass road, right? Kind of turn left, turn right. There's usually a red light right there. And who's sitting there right next to your window, seeing if you got some money, right? You pull up, and the dude's there, like, hey, can I help? Or with the sign or whatever they're doing. Y'all give money to them? Okay, why not?
Because they're just gonna do the same
go
thing.
use it for drugs.
So Steph, every time we stop at one, we give them money. She'll flag them down. She'll stop. She'll hold up traffic. Be like, hey, she made a guy run the other day. She literally made a guy. She was like, you better hurry up. You better run. Remember the homeless guy?
He needed to pay attention. I was trying to get. He was just like walking with
Yep.
his head down. He was so sad, and I was like, I sat there and out of traffic, and I was like, you have to pay attention if you're gonna stand out here.
So every listen, if we stop and there's someone there looking for money, she's giving them money. Right? And we got me, I'm like, I ain't giving that motherfucker money.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Why? He's gonna do drug, buy alcohol, whatever.
What he does
And
with
she-
it's on him. I give because I want to give, and what he does with it, he has to answer for.
Different mentality. You know what I mean? Like you go, what if, and then you go negative. What if he buys crack? In her head, she's like, what if it gets him shoes and he can take care of his kid?
What if he has a place to sleep tonight?
Right? So for her, she's like, I'm going to do the right thing. If he does the wrong thing, that's on him. Right?
Yeah.
And so with agents, it's kind of the same way, dude. Like you do what feels right for you. Does it work out for you? It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to be continued to get taken advantage of. You know what I mean? So if I give a guy the money and he goes, and I can literally watch him buy crack and pass out, and next time he tells, you know what I mean? I'm not going to keep doing it necessarily. But this is random one-off stuff, and we just like to help people. But in this situation, for me, what I've learned is if I do it the right way, it works way more often than not. Right? If I don't set expectations, right? If you have feelings about the money and feelings about the relationship and feelings about what happens, if you don't express them, you're gonna get frustrated.
Yeah.
Right? And so for me, I love the helping people part. I hate when I help them. What bothers me is I give them leads, and then this is the thing y'all just brought, like the thing you brought up, and then they get paid, and then they use the money to pay their car bill. I'm like, bro, you should have just sent me your car bill. I could have just paid it and skipped all this bullshit. You know what I mean? And I get why, but I know that bothers me a little bit. I wish they reinvested it. So I do want them to make enough to pay for both, but they tend to make poor choices in a moment. So I just set the stage, dude, for how I want it to go. Because if you don't help him, he's got to figure out how to make the car payment.
Right.
If you do help him, he still has to figure it out, but now he might use your money or the money generated from your leads that you helped him buy. So if that bothers you in any way, or you think it's probably not a smart business move either, right? So you can talk to them about business. So if you lay the groundwork for like, hey, I want to help you out, and here's why. However, this is how it plays out typically. I help people out. And again, you don't have the reps necessarily to see it, but common sense says if you help someone out, they get paid. Now you have a choice to make.
Right.
What are your choices with that money? And I make them answer. What are your choices with the money? You get a deposit, $732. Now what do you got to do? And they can figure it out. I need to pay for leads or pay for bills is where I want to get. If you pay for leads, you can now do what? See more people. If you pay bills, where are we at now? You got to call daddy for more money. Is that where you want to be? He don't want that either.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Especially when they understand the dynamic of it all.
Yeah.
They don't know that you didn't pick them off a fucking tree out there and hand them to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you're like, dude, I really want to invest. So for me, when I'm doing it, I invest in someone because I believe in them and I see something they don't see yet.
Right.
So it helps when I let them know that because they don't believe in themselves. So for me to believe in someone empowers them in a way that they can't normally have. And I do want to help them, but I also don't want to be taken advantage of. So I explain what I feel like being taken advantage of is. And I feel like if I give you money for leads and I'm telling you to reinvest it, now if I don't tell you to reinvest it, that's on me. If you don't explain it and he pays his car bill, that's your fault. It was my fault so many times because I didn't explain it. Right? And that's like her. She gave the money. Like she did her part. So in this, if I explain the way I want it to go down, you know what I mean? Now they have to like fuck me to not do the right thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One of my things that I've learned to be more
Yeah.
direct about, like not assuming that somebody knows.
Correct. You can't.
We've talked about it, but I haven't.
Yeah. So you got to like clearly map it out in a way like, hey, you get a deposit on Tuesday and you got to work with them. And it also depends how many leads you give them.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's $100, couple, you know what I mean? If it's a decent amount, $1,000, couple $1,000, different conversation than if you're like, hey, here's fucking 50 leads.
Right.
You know? But for me, dude, I want to teach people the business. I want to teach the get money and delay certain things to be able to put marketing dollars into your business first. That's a hard step for most people. And not a lot of people wrap their head around that. Definitely not a lot of spouses and support in their life can wrap their head around it, much less the person you're dealing with, right? So now the other factor that comes in is, with all that, what's home life like? If home life manages the deposits, and now I got to go to Steph and be like, hey, baby, that's $700 I made you today. So he gave me the money for that, and I'm supposed to buy more leads with that money. I know you have to pay the mortgage, but he said, you know what I mean? Like, that's a tough situation to put someone in. So I've learned I've done that by mistake a lot because I didn't know a lot of information. You know what I mean? So then it became, all right, let me be really clear about how this works and what I expect from it. And again, not in a mean way, but if you get the money and then don't reinvest it, you're going to be stuck in the same spot. And I mean this with, I love you a lot, dude, but like, I can't, it's not welfare. I have other people to help. So I'm going to give you a shot. Here's your shot. I'm going to teach you how to get out. But if you don't take the money and reinvest it the right way, you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be in the same spot today as you are next week as you are today. Yeah. And if you do that, again, that goes back to that coachable thing. You know what I mean? And I've never had someone not do it when I explain it that way. Right? And then I'm paying attention. Dude, how's it going? How many apps you get? What do you get? You know what I mean? And today, when I gave him leads, I didn't we've had enough conversations. So I'm not stressed over 100 at this stage. You know what I mean? I'm like, it is what it is. We'll just send them out. But for the overwhelming majority of the career, getting things started, it was, here's the play. Are you in? Because I'll do the pay part. I need you to do the rest of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
then I always kind of wonder about, especially like when you're taking people that aren't licensed shit, and is it like you want them to show how serious they are by putting that skin in the game?
Yes.
First?
Yeah. I very rarely do it if they don't have reps and money in first. I used to. And it's the reality is the industry's loaded with like free leads, and they're never free anywhere. They might be free to the agent, but they ain't free to the person who made them or bought them. Someone's paying. So, dude, if someone, and that goes back to like who you want to hire, right? Why does that happen? They're broke, and they typically have no money coming in. My odds of turning that person around are low. So they're going to have to make up for it with a lot of work ethic. You know what I mean? And again, if someone has a story and I buy into the story and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make this one a fucking charity case, which I've done. I still do it in some ways, just having conversations with people or, time with people that like hit me up on DMs and have a question or want to pick my brain and I don't know them from a fucking hole in the wall. I can't do all those, but I do at least one or two a week. Well, I walk out of the office, I'm like, that was my fucking charity case. What are you laughing at me for? I was I saw like her head was in the way and I'm like, shit, I'm supposed to be standing. And then I realized you probably finagled it and I'm sorry. I make him work for his money.
Same thing. As soon as you sat down, I was like, Reese is going to the camera right now.
Yep. Yeah. Y'all better be on your game. You get over there, start having conversations and lose track of me, you're in trouble. So it works a lot more when it's well defined. No different than if think about, I always relate it to welfare program. Like how well does the welfare program work in the US? The overwhelming majority of the time it doesn't. It doesn't do shit to generate, it's hooked as help them get through a hard time so they go get their next job. That ain't how it works. You know what I mean? My mom was on welfare for like 12 years because she made more money from the government than she could at a job. Now, she went to school and, I don't think she took it for granted and she wasn't doing crack, but it didn't exactly get her out of a hole quick. It kept her in a hole, and I don't want to create a dependency where someone stays in a hole and now they have to kind of almost beg me for, I don't want to create that dynamic. I want to make people feel really empowered and, feel like they've done something for their family. And again, if I give them a shot, all I did was give them a shot and it cost me a little bit of money, I'm in. Because again, worst case, I can make money on that leads on those leads somehow.
Yeah.
Whether I sell them myself, you sell them yourself. You know what I mean? Like you could call them yourself, and you can put like what's the word to use? Like you can put what is a really good word I want to use? Like if you give them leads, you can put criteria is not the word I want to use, but you can put like contingencies on it, right? You can make the rules. If I give you leads, you got to run 12 miles today. You'd be like, all right, I'm in. You can make up whatever you want, right? So for me, it tended to be around activity. And the first deposit I learned, I had to say, the first deposit, I need you to put all of it into leads. And I talk numbers. Now, if first deposit's $2,000, maybe we can have a different conversation. But if your first deposit's 300, 400, 500, 600, all of it has to go back into leads. Otherwise, I may as well just pay your fucking electric bill. And they agree. They're like, yeah, that makes sense. And I'm like, you know, and again, if I know the dynamic of the spousing financial situation, usually I do. If I don't, you can ask. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you get a deposit. You good? Or is she going to spend it first? Or someone snorting it before you get to it? Like, what's the deal? Huh? Yeah. And shit, you think it don't happen?
No, I'm not saying it doesn't. I just thought it was funny.
I will say it. If you ain't learned that yet. You know, so I think if there's clarity, and you learn it along the way as you go, you go like, shit, I messed that one up. You know, and I used to blame the agent for it, certainly. And I was like, you know what? I've said it 100 times today. It's like, how did it get there where they didn't understand what to do? I must have fucked up royally. If they got the lead money and then snort it, I did something wrong. You know what I mean? I missed something, I misjudged, but I'm willing to take a hit too. I'll take a loss on it, I don't give a shit. Because then you think about the flip side. What about the agents I've never bought a lead for ever and they sell $400,000 a year? You know what I mean? Like, I don't go, oh shit, I owe money over here. But for me helping you, in return, I get a guy like that figures it out easy. You know what I mean? And I don't look at one, although I'm gonna, again, set expectations. I'm not losing my mind over one dude I missed on. I was like, I fucked that one up. It's like a lead to me. You know what I mean? It's no different. I'm just paying for more opportunity for more volume. Maybe it's $1,000 lead. You know what I mean? But if I've got someone this far in and I'm willing to get them licensed, willing to get them trained, willing to get them onboarded, I'm like, no offense. I mean, I can make $1,000 fucking, I can sell a policy today and buy someone leads. You know, so I wasn't afraid to do it.
Hey guys, just created something really cool, and if you want to be part of it, join the Discord group I just created. The link is going to be in here. It's a dope environment. You can chat with others that are kind of in the community. You can see behind the curtain of our agency, have access to all kinds of stuff that we got going on, events, and my staff is in there. We have agents in there selling, me helping agents and sharing information. We're going to, as we build this thing out, share everything out there with all of you guys. So again, follow the Discord if you want to be part of everything we got going on. Join it now. We'll see you in there. Hope to help you more.
Um, 2017, first year I got out of the field. So I got out kind of end of 16. I tinkered the beginning of 17, just kind of figure out how to get out fully. But I didn't sell anything after like February or so of 17. I sold a couple policies in January, February, almost nothing. But 2017, I spent $450,000 on leads that year. I sold $30,000 for the year, maybe the first couple months, combined, like cumulative. Spent $450,000 on leads.
Just feeding everybody.
Yeah, dude. But my income went from 650 to 1.8.
Good investment.
Worked out. Everybody loves it after the fact. You know how many liked it when I was dropping 10 G's a week on leads? She wherever she is, she didn't know that shit. She didn't have a fucking clue. She might have just found out right now.
Yeah, you heard that. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Never said the last part again?
Yeah. She didn't know then. She didn't know during. She had no fucking idea during.
This is either going to go really bad or this is going to end.
I mean, again, it wasn't like I dropped it all in one day. I was just doing it a lot.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I've done it too.
In the beginning, I was doing it for everybody. It was like welfare. And then I was like, that's really fucking dumb. You know what I mean? I'm like, I take money and I throw it into the woods. And I go to my front door and I hope more shows up. That did not work.
Well, see, I had a question about that too, because we were talking about that the last time when you were speaking on
Right.
the call. And I'm noticing that a lot of guys are top producers, right? But then they realize that it's like, I don't want to sell for average.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
They're like, okay, this is what it feels like to make good money
Sure.
as an insurance agent. But you also look back, it sounds cliche until you make the money and you realize you're sacrificing a lot of time for this. And there's only a shelf life of being able to, just run and gun, do 452, right? So then they try to get the system for their agents.
Yeah.
And two things are happening. One, their production goes down. 'Cause they don't have a system
95% of the
in place.
team.
Right.
95% of the time.
Right.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
then
for sure.
They're trying to do the free leads program to the agent. Week 1, week 2, week 3, right? Like some people having issues with this now, and I haven't figured it out. That's why I'm bringing this up too. And then their agents who they give the free leads to, it sounds like a good idea, but then they don't work them as hard,
Correct.
and then they have to change that system. But it does two things.
Yep.
Now I just pulled leads from you. Well, you weren't making money, so you're already knowing that I gave these to you. So there's a little bit of something there with that, which is just like. But then if I give the leads to you now and say, all right, you're not on the leads thing anymore, well, there's another issue that's stacked on top
Correct.
of that. And then now I've changed it.
Yeah, he can be pissed.
Yes,
and-
micromanaging.
Yeah,
now
100%.
now I'm micromanaging the system, and it's like it's nothing
Yeah.
working.
Yeah,
And then,
so
all right, well, I got to revamp the system. I got to recoup some funds. So I'm like, well, how the heck do you have a lead system and then grow the team? Because it's just not working.
when you say lead system, do you mean someone trying to run a lead company too?
No.
Okay, cool.
Just have.
Because that's a different game. Yep,
Just
I
have
follow.
Some leads.
Yep,
maybe
yeah,
the agents can't afford
Yeah, so
it.
I think what I learned, dude, is when it becomes a broad way you run your agency, it's tough. Because it's like shotgun approach. You're hoping like shit it works. Where I'd rather be like a sniper. Right? And so I identify, for the way that I found during this, what I learned from that 450 grand. One, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I changed a lot of it. But it worked. The next year, 2018, I bet I spent 40 grand that year on leads. I made the same gross. It still was like that 1.8-ish, but my net was like fucking 1.2 that year. You know what I mean? It was like crazy net because I learned to do it targeted. So instead of like whoever the fuck wants it, come sign up, there's the leads. I did it more out of like, there wasn't really a program for it. You know what I mean? Like in my head, I knew what I wanted to do, but I would identify people that were doing more things right than wrong. They were investing in leads to the best of their ability and turning it into money enough to sustain. You know that like 10, 15K producer? He's like, he's investing in leads and he's selling, but he can't get his head above water. He can't get enough to like buy 2 or 3 grand worth of leads, but he can get 5, 6, 7, 800 bucks. You know what I mean? He can't figure out how to get 40 appointments, but he can run 12, 14. That guy that's semi-consistent, he just can't break through. I go to that guy, and that's what I like to do, is find that guy and go, hey, dude, come here. I got a question for you, bro. Obviously, you're kind of figuring out the more leads you get, the more appointments you get, the more appointments you get, the more you sell, the more you sell, the more you make. Right? It gets a lot better fast once you get over that 20K. Difference between 20K and 30K. Like 10 grand is 10 grand, but it's typically 10 grand to your fucking pocket.
Right, so that's your profit.
It's net.
And I think that's what people don't realize as an entrepreneur. You have to get over this certain line.
It's the fixed cost in accounting world.
All of it
There's
goes to
fixed
the
numbers.
house.
Correct.
You don't get paid to the end.
Yeah.
You gotta get past
So the second 20 grand is infinitely more profitable than the first 20 grand. And so if I can get someone to taste that second 20 grand, oh, dude, their whole world changes, right? Because now they can pay for the leads, they can pay for their bills, and they got extra. It's just getting to that hump. And again, when you put the money back into leads and you have the lead flow, the right guy is going to go, dude, they're not doing anything different. And they want to do it more. They just can't figure it out, which sounds weird to you and I. But to the average agent, dude, climbing from 14, 16, 18 grand to 40, it seems like a fucking Rubik's Cube to most people. So I'd rather go like, hey, dude, I got to quit. You've been fucking, seems like you're trying to do big things, man. You seem kind of stuck at this fucking 15 appointment thing, $700 a week in leads. Dude, what gives? Like, you see all these guys over here knocking out 40, 50 grand. I assume you know the difference. Like, what's the difference between a guy knocking out 50 grand and what you're doing? They all know that. Appointments and leads. They all know the answer. I think, all right. So if you had the ability to book 40 appointments this week, would you do it? No question asked. You'd change your whole schedule. You'd make it fucking work. Nothing would get in the way. Wife, family, kids, nothing would get in the way. You sure? Because I kind of want to help you with a way to get to 40 appointments. But dude, if you like mess it up, it's going to be this weird thing where you get to taste it and then you're going to be broke again quick. So I got an idea, but I just really want to make sure you're willing to go through with it. And I sell him on it. I set the stage for that. And he's like, yeah, fuck, I'll do anything. Fucking, what I do not love dogs, when they wag their little tail all happy, they're fucking kind of happy. So he'd be over there wagging his little tail like a little puppy. You know what I mean? Like wondering what's happening. I'm like, all right, dude. So if I can get you enough leads to book 40 appointments, like easy, you'll fucking do the work. Because I can get you the leads. I can figure that out. What I don't like is when I give someone leads and then they don't do it. You know what I mean? I just have the conversation. It fucking bothers me. So I can do that. Now, when you get more leads, you're going to run more appointments. You know you're going to make more money. When you get more money, are you going to know what to do with it to keep it going? And I make them answer. It's obvious. I got to reinvest. I mean, they kind of know from a loose level. I go, what do you know what will happen if you don't reinvest it? And they kind of like hem-haw around it. They're not sure where I'm going with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to watch you fucking drown. If you take for granted that I can help you get the appointments and you don't reinvest, and say you get a deposit for $800 and you choose to pay your car bill, you and I are not going to have a problem. I'm not going to be mad. However, you will never get another lead from me again. Is that fair? In fact, if you don't do it, I'm going to take the leads I give you and I'm going to give them to Tyler. And I'm going to make him call all the clients and then tell you how much money he made off the leads I gave him that were yours. I really want to give you a shot, dude, but there's a lot of people here and I feel like you could do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's more of an exclusive, like, yo, I see potential in you. That's actually what I'm doing. It's not like a made up story that makes them feel, I'm actually trying to do that. You know, and so then when I start doing it, dude, I've walked in, I've had Amanda do it a ton, and I don't give them an amount. They don't know what's coming. Dude, I'll walk in and I'll fucking slap $2,000 worth of leads on someone's desk or send them an email with a shitload of, here they are. They'll be like, what the fuck? They're like a kid in a candy store now. And I just watch. If I give him leads right now, when can he start calling them? Shit, you wait till tomorrow, I notice. And you don't have 10, 15 fucking presentations tomorrow, I notice. I find out quick. That's what I like about it. I find out tomorrow if he's serious. Yeah, I don't have to wait till an issue paid report comes out. Dude, I know tomorrow. I give him so many people to call, it's easy. All he has to do is spend 12 hours on the fucking phone. He's going to trip over appointments. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I've learned like where managers want to help agents with leads. You ever see it? And they're like, anybody ever had help with somebody? Want to give them leads? Mm-hmm. Like, I'll give you, yeah. I mean, I've given you some, right? And I go, what's the most I can give you at once? No, it's not a bad number, right? But some go like, they give them 20 leads or $500 in leads, right? And they're trying to get a guy off the ground. And I'm like, yo, what do you spend on leads? If you're an agent killing it, what's an average guy spend on leads? $2,000 a week? Mm-hmm. And you're trying to help him. And you gave him $500 in leads. You need $2,000 to be successful. And he's brand new. Do you think he needs more leads or less leads than you to win?
He needs more leads.
So you gave him a quarter of the leads you take. And you're frustrated he didn't figure out how to issue $60,000 like you?
See what I'm saying, bro? That's what it is.
It's just they miss it. It's so simple at its core.
I would never ask that question, which is, even because they may have the intention, the agency owner may have the intention. See, I don't know, but I need to go back and ask this question, which is, they may be trying to implement the system, but there's not enough gas in the car to get
100%
to where they need to go.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
And it could be just that one thing, and that's where they're frustrated.
So
that we're all trying to build it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I need to ask that.
So for me, I learned if I'm doing him 500, him 500, him 500, everyone $500 fucking dollars for everyone. Dude, that adds up to $450,000 real quick. And I can't track everyone. I can't hold everyone accountable the same way. Not everyone's going to do it. You know, and you find out that that's the way your system works. He calls his buddy. He's like, yo, this dipshit's giving away free leads. Come work over here. With no accountability at all. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We can take it and snort it. You don't think people figure that shit out? Whereas if I'm like, yo, one shot, bro. This is the whole, you role play the Eminem song right now. Yeah, I'm giving you one. That's it. Because it only takes one to change everything. Like I always tell y'all, like invest heavy up front. You only have to do that once to where the machine starts to feed itself. And I actually believe, I don't believe, like when I say I spent 450 grand, I don't actually believe, although it added up to 450, to me in my head, dude, I just kept spending 10 grand over and over and over again. I spend 10 grand, I make it back from the overrides. I just take that same 10 grand I allocated towards leads, and this week I give it to this table, next week I give it to that table. I'm just rewashing the same 10 grand in my head. Does that make sense? Even if I convince agents, you put $1,000 a week into leads. I put 6 grand a month into leads. Nah, dude, you put 1,500 4 times. Right? And some people buy into it, some don't. So then I've had to learn, how do I explain it so it's more clear? Because you wouldn't say that in any other context. So I use Vegas all the time. I'm like, if you went to Vegas with $1,000 and this was blackjack, this is poker, and that's fucking craps, and you put $1,000 on this table and you won 1,000. So you're up $1,000 on this table. Okay? You put the 2 grand in your pocket and you come over here and you put 1,000 down and you win another $1,000. Right? Now you got 3 grand in your pocket. How much did you spend? But you did it twice. Why is it not 2? You put 1,000 here and 1,000 here. So why do we only count it once in Vegas, but when they pay you for leads, they count it twice? They put money on the table. They walked away with more money. They took the original money and put it down on this table. Right? And then they do it again over there. So now they did it 1,000 3 times. You come home from Vegas. What are you telling your buddies? How much you telling them you went with and spent? And how much you telling them you came home with? Okay. So why, when we spend leads, can't we do the same thing? And go, I paid Arturo 1,000 this week. I made 4,000. I kept the 1,000 and gave it back to Arturo. He gave me more leads. Now I made another few grand, whatever it is. At the end of the month, I made 15 grand. But in our head, we go, we spent 4. I've convinced myself that I've only spent 1,000 4 times. I just did it 4 times. It's just what I've convinced myself of, because it feels the same as blackjack. I started with $1,000, I went out into the world, and I came home with 10 grand. I just don't see it as spending the number that we say we spend. I think people word it wrong. You know what I mean?
That makes me feel a lot better.
It works really good too. It's a mind trick that it's hard to defend, especially when I throw Vegas in there. You know what I mean? It's like, argue it. I see the other side of the argument. I just refuse to accept it that way. Right? So as I'm doing this, people go, you spend that much on leads? I'm like, I mean, the way I learned to do it when I fixed it going forward was I target the person, I drop 2 G's, he goes out and sells, I'm definitely making the money back in overrides. Right? I take that same fucking 2 grand I gave him that came back to me through the carriers, and I just give it to him in leads. You know what I mean?
The thing is, you're not just blanket doing it to everybody.
No, fuck no, dude.
Specific individuals. And if I had to guess, I think that's probably what's happening, right?
That's what most people.
All right, I'm gonna put 2 grand in the leads for my whole team.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's still the equivalent of the 500 scenario.
Correct.
And they're not targeting the person that's just doing enough leads for this person to be successful if they do the actions, right? Give you enough leads. If you put it to work, it's impossible for you not to.
It's throwing shit against the wall and hoping it sticks. Where mine is kinda, except I sort of take you by the throat and put you against the wall and make sure you're going to handle it right. But I'm okay getting burned, quote unquote, on it.
Yeah, but the way you
Because-
have the conversation still goes
Yes.
like
Yep.
most people don't. They're afraid to have the conversation like that, which is like, here are all the stipulations on both ends.
Yeah.
Whether you do it or not, we're cool. But I'm gonna watch you drown after the fact because you told me that you were gonna do this.
You told me you can
Just take your
swim.
word. So
We're in
don't come
we're in the
back
middle of the
after
ocean
you
on
give
a
it shot.
on a cruise ship,
Right.
and you tell me you can swim. I'm jumping in the ocean. I can swim. I go, bro. I ain't coming in after you, dude. I'm not the guy. I don't do dogs. I definitely don't do fucking sharks. He jumps off the boat, dude. I mean, I might tell someone, but I ain't getting wet. I'm just not. You know? And so I just, man, I've been given opportunities a lot in my life, and I try to take advantage of them and be grateful for them. And I don't want people to feel taken advantage of from me either.
Yeah, but you have that conversation ahead of time where it's like all the expectations is like, hey, I'm willing to do this for you. Are you willing to commit to it? Here's what it's going to take. You want to get to this level. This is what it's going to take. I'm willing to help you. But if you tell me you're going to do something, I'm going to invest in you, and you don't do it, then we're done.
Nicely.
Like, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, nicely.
So, you know,
Well, yes.
it's a win-win. Or it's,
Yep.
It's
you lose it right away.
transparency.
It is.
But it also takes away of yourself as a leader, because now you're like, all right, you know, you don't have to waste any more time with that person. Wasting your time.
It's their shot, literally. It's their fucking shot at succeeding now. And as I've said a million times, I want to know now. I don't want to know. I don't want to do $500 a week and see if he grinds it out. I get some people I have to do that with. I'm not giving that to everyone. But if he's done above and beyond the rest and he stands out from the crowd and I'm like, dude, I want to give someone a fucking shot. We do shit like that all the time. We give out stuff. We invite fucking, not everybody paid to get here. I'm like, just fucking let him, it's all good. I got it. I know some of y'all paid and you weren't, sorry. Sometimes I give people a fucking shot. You know what I mean? I just do. And Amanda knows that style, and hell, a lot of times she makes that call with business stuff. She's like, I hooked him up with this. I'm like, dope, thank you. She just knows how I think now. She's been through the reps enough to know what I'm looking for and who I'm targeting. And she'll see people more clearly than I will sometimes because she's in contact with them more when they're newer. You know what I mean? So she can now knows how to identify what I'm looking for too. So she can make that decision today. You know what I mean? But that was the tweak I made. 2017 was figuring it out, throwing it to everybody. And what I liked more was when I put a little pressure on people. I like putting pressure on people. I like having pressure on me. A lot of people perform well under pressure. You know?
You're spending more time working with the 20% than the 80%. Or investing in them for like the top producers or people in that threshold of they're showing up, they're doing the work, they just can't get over the hump. Like they're showing you something. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I feel like a lot of times
it's kind of that mid-range, dude.
Like take a 2 to a 10, but they're like they're not really doing anything. You can see the potential. You want to help them change their situation, but you end up wanting to help them more than they want to help themselves, and you're like pushing people, and that's really when
the piece they miss, dude, is like the guy limping in $500 a week and taking home $7,000 a month or whatever it is, $8,000. Like his ROI is really good. But again, that first layer of profitability sucks because it's got to pay for everything. You know what I mean? So that first rip, dude, I got to reinvest in leads, but I also got to pay for my life. You know what I mean? Like you have to do both. Hence the job, pay for the business thing. And the reality is almost no one spends full-time hours doing the prospecting part of our game. Almost no one. 40 hours prospecting? Almost no one does that shit. Right? So there's usually more time to give. And I understand the dynamic, dude. I was there. And you know, I got a little bit of help with like age leads, but I had to kind of figure that climb out myself. And I saved all the money when I was part-time. I didn't spend any of the insurance money for the first year. So even though I was only making a few grand a month, it all went into a savings account. I didn't touch it. I don't even know if she knew we had it. She never really paid the bills. Like ever. Ever. I came into her life and I'm like, what the fuck? No, I'm taking over. You know, she just didn't do it. So yeah, man, I think that for me, it became a way it was like a boost that I could give someone. And then you see someone that's been around for a minute, kind of in that mediocre little world, that all of a sudden jumps to the top. And it's like, what'd you do? Oh, I helped Wetmore and he helped me and look what happened. I'm like, cool, hey, do you think you could do that for someone next time? And then you think he's not going to do that for someone next time? And you think he's not going to do that for someone next time? How many people I have doing that model today? You know what I mean? So if I do it for them, they're certainly going to think, oh shit, I should probably do this for the next round. They're going to mess it up a bunch, but I can walk people. What I just said is nothing complicated about what I said. It's just super intentional. You know?
You had explained, like, there was that sort of tip a couple of weeks back to implement that, like, with our team.
That piece? Oh,
It
cool.
was,
Dope.
the 3 tiers of agents,
Yeah, yep.
and we made it into like a chart. And
Where'd you put them? What are your tiers?
like a triangle chart? So,
90% if you're into a gold agent, silver agent, bronze
so yeah, they're
agent.
gold,
You're showing up.
silver, and bronze. The bronze are the ones that don't show up and have no production. It
Okay.
makes sense. You don't show up, you have no production.
Do they know your rankings too?
I mean,
Or is it still internal?
it's internal.
Cool. Yep, I like it. I ain't mad at it.
Like they can. I
Yep,
mean,
I like
it's
it.
kind of self-explanatory.
Someone who
You know?
taught me some of this stuff, he used to, when he was doing this interview process, he used to give a score. He had like 5, it was too complicated for me. Huh? It was what was it? It was a star? What do you mean? Oh, like, but there was like 5 categories and they would rank them. And they had some point system, stars, I guess. And they'd be like, the agent is this level. You can get, I'm gonna make it up, 10 total stars. And they would rank them during the onboarding interview process, and everyone would give their input to the 5 things that were important to them. And when they fell into this level, that's how they did it. And I was like, I like the concept, too complicated, I'm gonna simplify it. And so I
Since
didn't,
we started showing it,
They've been showing
they've been showing up more
yeah, fuck yeah, they will. Why? Do you know why?
because now they know that there's opportunity.
And
Leads to get more production,
fear of loss
of course.
will fucking make people move. They'll change people. You know what I mean? So if he fears losing that connection, that relationship, that help, that he's gonna work his ass off. You know, where you go like, here it is.
If this don't work, I'll just go back to them.
Yeah, they just don't. You know what I
That's what they were
mean?
doing before. They were like sucking the life out of us whenever they wanted. So we had to set those
Yeah.
boundaries.
And what's funny is like I've learned I don't, and this is maybe me convincing myself of shit. I don't think most people try to suck the life out of you and take you for granted on purpose, like fully. I don't think there's bad intentions with most of them necessarily. They just don't fucking know any better. You know, and if you don't set the stage, they can make up whatever they want in their head. I mean, you can apply that to all parts of life. You know what I mean? If there's not clarity, you leave it up to whatever the hell they make up in their head. You know, they don't understand the lead game. I mean, how many people that get free leads don't understand the concept of that they're not actually fucking free? People can't wrap their head around that simple concept. But you start talking about, it's like, dude, how do you think it was generated, bro? You know? And so just clarity for me. That's it. And I love being able to do that. I love, you know, she loves being able to give money to whoever she wants, homeless, whatever you want, and maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, maybe God blesses you with some cool thing. You know what I mean? Like, we do live a good life. So in her head, she's like, I helped them over here, and somehow we're helped over here. It's fucking weird how it works out. You know, where most people want a direct, immediate impact that you can quantify. You know what I mean? And this I can a little bit more, but not fully even, you know, and I've certainly done it, and people figure it out for a week or two or a month or two or a year or two and then drop it. And I fucking told you. You know, I've never had any part of this business where I wasn't profitable. I don't understand when people say they're not profitable. I don't fucking understand it at all. You all saw the comp I started with, and I've been profitable since the day I started in the business. I wasn't printing money, but I was never negative. Like, I don't even understand it. You know? So it's, you know, it's an easy way to help people get to a new level, and then they become self-sufficient. And it's like a fucking machine, you know, again. And then you look at, remember the layers I was talking about, the depth of agencies? Dude, I teach that, and that becomes normal, which in part of our world it is. You take that whole other group that I've worked with for years, they're out teaching this shit right now. You know, it's just new to most because it's not the norm, and it takes a different breed to believe in someone enough to get the override when they give it to you. But do you believe in someone enough to invest in them and pour into them? It's funny, your belief level, when you got to come out of your pocket. You know what I mean? And most people don't really believe in the people they bring on, which is why it's hard to invest in people financially. You know, and then when you start doing that, you get taken advantage of. You go, oh shit, I got to adjust and adapt who I allow into my world and you know what I mean? I just want to make sure it's the right people. You don't think I've seen some people go like, hey, this fool's giving out free leads and bring their buddies over like fucking crackheads to come over and get some free, like that's happened a lot.
Got some of them leads.
100%, dude. Oh, dude, 100%. You know, our office used to be chock full of them. They'd come in and be like, you know, I'd give leads away on a dial day in the morning. I would do that a lot. You'd never hear from anyone. Talk about it. They know to show up that day. I'm like, sneaky motherfucker. You know, but I can give you stories of a lot of people that I've done that with that have literally gone and done fucking crack with the money. We've had fucking people do. I have paid for someone to be in rehab. I've sent someone to rehab before. I've paid. Yeah, like we've done some crazy stuff to help people get out of some sticky situations. There's some stories that I can't even tell now. I'm like, well, trust me, I've had to pay for some stuff to just make the world go round sometimes. But that's one of the best strategies ever. And again, we still use it to this day. Now I kind of give it a little bit more. I didn't like quite. I had the conversation with you a little bit, but it wasn't too in depth, and you were already spending a bunch of money, and I'm like, fuck it. I think you actually asked to buy leads when I sent them to you. Yeah, he actually was like, hey, do you got some old leads I can buy? I'll call whatever, and we get them up, and team's like, what do you want to charge? I'm like, what am I, 50 fucking bucks? Like, just give them the fucking leads. Like, who gives a shit?
You guys use Kaboom or?
I don't use Kaboom because it's an individual campaign for a person. Does that make sense? So they run campaigns. So I don't mess with it. I mean, I'll refer people to Cody. Sometimes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I certainly refer people to him. But I wouldn't make it the only. There's very few people I'm like, you can take that lead source and fucking ride home with it. It's the downside of running a campaign for you. And Cody will talk about all this openly. It's going to be hard to get a campaign going and get like a waterfall of leads right now the way their deal runs. It's more of a trickle. And everyone who's got understands that. And he's not saying otherwise. He's not pretending it's not that either. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's hard to put $1,000 into one of those leads and it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 days to turn on a campaign, and you put, $50 a day into it. It's like, you need fucking 3 people a day? What the fuck are you gonna do with that? Right? Because in your head, you're $1,000 a week. That'll do it. Sure, if you could slap down $1,000 and pick up all your leads right now, it works really well. Yeah. That ain't how the game works. You got to pay the money and then say, wait. You know what I mean? And part of his business model is, I don't work with those guys down here fucking dicking around. I don't mess with them. What's your minimum to invest right now? $2K a week? He won't fuck with someone else to spend $2K a week. He doesn't have to water down his leads, right? You don't have to. It's just a different game. You know what I mean? They both work. There's pros and cons to both ways.
Well, I did them both too. It's just,
What up, insurance agents? If you're looking for a roadmap on how to win in this industry, check out the book I wrote about a year ago, Do More Now, Get Better Later. Check out the reviews here somewhere. My team's putting them on. I'm getting tons of great feedback about all the people it's helped. Appreciate those of y'all that have bought it. Appreciate all the reviews that are going out. If you're new to following me or the industry, check out the book and get it in your hands now.
it's just, when you're, I don't like having to be responsible for everything in the insurance agent's business.
Yeah.
And when I was doing it the other way, everything was also my fault.
Yeah, 100%.
I realized that when people they pay attention, and people willing to invest like that, like they're looking for something specific where they're just like, just give me this and get out the way.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I don't care about any of that. Like the conversation is very simple for me, and now, the ambitious level that I'm trying to scale, I can't solve all the other problems in the $500 agent's business that have nothing to do with me. But it all comes with it because they gave me their last $500, and also they want that pressure either, because I don't sell insurance. I'm not an upline where there's only so much I can do, right? Like he could probably throw them other leads, but he can make his on the back end of the override.
Correct. Yeah, I can do all kinds of stuff.
On the Facebook ain't giving no refund back.
Yeah.
Or not. So I can only do so much, and then I'm like, okay, I can do the marketing, I can get you to the highest level. So here's what we're gonna do. If you've already been banging them up and you're tired of doing that, we're gonna go to efficiency level. And it's if you're a lead counter, then this isn't it. But if you're like, hey, I want to talk to this and I want to be sniper with it, and as long as I can get to this ROI and get these numbers here, my pipeline stays full, and I got deals that are always flowing, where I can see, you look in CRM, you can see how much value is in it too, plus things are depositing, then I'm like, okay, so now I only just solve one problem.
Yeah.
Make sure that this pipe never ends, and like that's been my model. But I mean, I've tried it before. I was doing form, I was building it in there, campaigns, I was setting it up, I was selling the leads, I was, doing this way before, but I was doing 500 to 1,000 bucks, and I realized, well, you need to have a certain amount of leads. Then Facebook made this change, special ad category, right? Where you can't use certain targeting. So I just stuck with that model right there. But I mean, it's tough too, because I want to help everybody too, but I don't have the bandwidth, I don't have a huge team. And so I just went for the kind of the person that's willing to kind of do it. It just made more sense for the kind of model.
The same shit we talked about this morning. He just did that with his business. Like, here's who I want. Here's what it is. You either this or get out of my way. And I think everybody gets to that point. Not everybody. Everybody that wins big gets to a point where they're like, you know what? Fuck it. This is the way I'm doing it. If you don't fit, and they get just frustrated. You get to a point where you're so frustrated doing it a way that don't work, you change. And some people make that change abruptly and hard and harsh, and it doesn't flow well. And some people, make it with a little more tact and intentionality, and it can work really well. But typically, if your shit ain't growing, you gotta make some kind of change. And I've learned it's just small tweaks, because what you did works. You just probably didn't line it up right. You know what I mean? And that's all. It's a baby tweak. Nothing crazy complicated. It took me hundreds of thousands of dollars to figure that out. Figure out here for pennies. So just tweak the conversation. Start seeing how it goes. You know what I mean? So it's like every time we're trying to deliver a message, watch it too. Watch how they react. Watch how they handle it and how appreciate. You'll see it'll be a complete change in demeanor when you deliver it right. I'll get thanked 900 times, which I don't need it, but it does happen. You know what I mean? Which I ain't mad at it. It beats the alternative. So it's been a big piece of our growth along the way. And that concept can apply in a lot of ways. Same concept in recruiting. Same thing I mentioned earlier. You just give people away with no fucking nothing. Or if I give someone comp early, dude, that comes with contingencies. I'm gonna I'll move you. Hey, it looks like you're trying to build something big, dude. Hey, if I move you from 110 to 115, you're doing X amount, this will be X amount in your pocket. That'll help out, right? Now, you need a staff, dude. You need to fucking get staff, you need an office, you need whatever. Hey, I'm gonna move you up over here. That extra money, I need you to put it over here. And if you don't, you're gonna struggle growing. Amanda can't keep doing everything for you. You're bringing a lot of people. She's busy as shit. I need you to hire someone to take some of that load off. And here's the comp for it now. I'll give the comp a touch early. They were gonna get it anyway. Give it to them early, teach them where to spend the money with it. And it works a lot better than if I just go, good job on your raise, buddy. And I keep going. I'm gonna teach them how to spend the money in the right way to continue to buy more volume with it. So.
Better to oblige them than to do a favor for them, right? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what that first word means, so I cannot confirm that.
It's almost like you make them feel like they're obligated to do this. Like they have to do this. Like it's
They do. I'm not making them feel, you do have to do it my way or I'm out. Now, if you choose to not do it that way, I'm going to watch you. I've learned just, it's like the homeless guy giving him money. If am I really going to get mad at him? I don't have the fucking energy to get mad. You know what I mean? He fucked himself. He's going to pay for it for years of regret. Because the bad part is if you hang around, you're going to watch me do it with your buddy and he's going to get fucking rich. I'm going to help your buddy get rich right in front of you. And you had the shot before him. Hell, he might only have the shot because you ruined it. Yeah, I can.
If you want to succeed, you have to do it.
100%. It's fucking. I look at this a lot like a sport, man. You go into athletics. Hey, if you don't perform, bro, they're gonna bench you in a second and put him in to start. No fucking question. Nobody's confused about that. No one's confused about that in most any other dynamic we are, which is why I take people to another world first. I'm like, hey, this is like this over here, and then I bring it back to what we do. And I'm like, you're not gonna fucking trick me into thinking this ain't a welfare system. You're not gonna trick me into thinking it's something other than what it is. So if I can tie it to something else, sports. Dude, if you said you were gonna learn the plays and you didn't learn the plays, what the fuck happens? You know what I mean? If you had a job and you said you do the report and you don't do the report, this isn't that deep. It's just learning to word it in the intentional way and understand the dynamic of the insurance industry, which is ass backwards in a lot of ways. It's fucking ass backwards, you know? So I don't like to live in the fantasy world, you know? And it's pretty simple.
We gave someone a release, like a termination release,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 weeks ago, and she almost butt cussed me out. Like,
Yeah.
how could you do this? I thought I was invited to the wedding.
Ah,
Like, she just
yeah.
guilt tripped us so
Yeah.
hard. And I'm like,
Man, you haven't showed up in the past 5 months.
yeah,
What do you-
like it's a person
what do
that
you
shows
expect?
up
Yeah.
once every 5 months, and she only shows up to ask for help.
Yep.
So then
That's
produce
tough.
doesn't show
It's
up.
weird people don't see that that's but they don't.
Okay.
And it's hard to undo when you're in the middle of it, right? So y'all go on a phase where like you want to implement new stuff, but all these other people know the old stuff. So you have to like put the toothpaste back in the tube kind of thing. That's hard. But with the new ones over here, it gets significantly easier. It's actually fucking really easy.
'Cause it's them.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And they walk into it and they don't know any better. You know what I mean? You tell people they got to put $3,000 up front in leads and that's how it works to get rich. They go, okay. Especially when I can be like, that's what we do. Track record tends to help. But if they go like, I don't want to do it that way. I'm like, okay. Remember, what did I say the other way is going to feel like? Remember? What if you don't put enough in leads? What's this business going to be like?
Drowning.
It's going to fucking suck forever. I can't get more clear. You know? And I've never had anyone convince me otherwise. Again, can I see a guy who doesn't buy lead? Yeah, but in my head, when I say lead, I don't necessarily mean buy. We just happen to be in the buy lead world. If you can figure out how to generate a fuckload of leads by somehow like waving a sign around a fucking tree on a corner and you get, I don't care, man, more power to you. Yeah. But Cody's dad, I mean, he writes 7 figures a year on his own pen and he's never bought a lead in his life. But he's a networking machine. And he loves that shit. I ain't going to a fucking networking meeting. You know?
Network a lot, and not door knocking, but like tabletops.
Yeah.
Do tabletops in
I don't know what that means.
pharmacies, like,
Oh, really?
Set up an actual tabletop.
One
No,
of my
okay, yeah, yeah.
They give us the access to
Yeah, yeah.
people
Yep.
and then we just put up
We'll give
put up a
away the
sign,
good
Sure.
friends.
Yeah. Yep.
And, like, we even give them that like a free access to do that. All you gotta do is go and stand
Yeah.
for 2 hours, not even all day, and they won't even do that.
Don't
They're
even
like,
do
no, I'm scared of talking to people. I'm like, it's easier than cold calling. Like cold
Yeah.
calling is even worse.
That's where it's like, is your standard like, are you, I don't know, dude, are you willing to take on people who are scared? You know what I mean? It's like, you just kind of, you got to decide that. But for me, I'm like,
Well, I'm talking about the older we have older, but the new ones we're definitely filtering out.
Sure.
Like, are you scared to talk to people?
Yep.
And the answer we're looking for is no.
Yeah.
If you say yes, then we're like no.
correct. The question is now, what do you do when they say no, but the real answer is yes?
Remember when I asked you that if you were scared to talk to them?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Throw it right back at them.
Because it's going to happen. People will definitely fucking yes you.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, now you got to watch the actions as well. And be willing to commit to them, which is the hardest part. To go, hey, I'm willing to watch you drown. Dude, I ain't fucking lying. I've had to do it with close people to me. And I don't like it. It makes me feel a little bit like shit. But I go like, he did fucking bring it on. You know what I mean? You put me in and I've told people forever, if you put me in a position to make a hard decision, it'll be a really easy decision. You put me in a corner and my option is to shoot you in the face, dude, it's not gonna be hard. I'm just fucking not. You know? I don't know. And business is hard. Business decisions are hard. It's part of the game. You know, so if you can't learn how to have hard conversations early, buckle the fuck up building something. You know? And it will tend to be people that are closer to you that you have to have harder conversations with through the years, for sure. You know? But big things come out of it. When you help people do good things, they don't forget it. You know what I mean? It comes back around. It's like, oh shit. I can look at some people and I'm like, God dang, I remember when that fool couldn't scrape together 2 cents. You know, and same as I can remember when I couldn't. You know, and although dude didn't necessarily beat down my door with a shit ton of leads, he did give me leads. You know what I mean? I did sit on this dude's back fucking porch and call leads that he said he called, but he just wasn't good at, and I made some money on. I was like, whoa. You know, man.
Our agents just remodeled her kitchen, and it was like a huge win for her. So
Yeah.
we're, like, happy for her.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it. I love it. What else y'all got? You ready to sleep? No.
I could.
Yeah?
I think I could sleep for days.
Probably. It's good shit.
I was gonna add something to
Yeah.
y'all's conversation a second ago. With being so new,
Mhm.
communication of expectation is huge.
Yeah.
But the way Giovanni did it, that really was impactful, was letting me do it, feel so accomplished, and I'm talking like 10 door knocks, only door knocking in one day.
Mhm.
And I was like, damn, I really did the damn thing. 10 door knocks?
Yeah.
Like, fuck with me.
Mhm.
And he was like, should I do that in the morning? Like, just as practice. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, what do you mean? You can do more. What did you do? And I was like, oh, I took an hour lunch, I did this, I went to Publix,
Yeah.
all that. And when he was like, no, let's not, I've noticed a lot of communication of expectation early and like fixing things before he gets pissed off at me. It's like super fucking nice. Like, and it goes with Levi and everything. So like, if I buy you leaves, you say, here you go, have fun. You don't do what I wanted you to do in my head.
Yeah.
Whose fault is that?
Ag-
That's in any relationship. It's
Agreed.
your fault.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that with like myself and in business, it's like, here are these leaves, but I really want to see you that. Like, just to communicate. Add the extra oomph and it pays off for sure.
It's good. It's working.
It is.
It is working. Y'all got a little crew. You just got to get a few more like you. And multiply us a couple, you know what I mean? Each find one or two. Be on the same page. I've seen a crew of 3 or 4 blow this thing up quick before. For sure. You know, at the beginning, that's all we were. Just a few people wanted to get after it together. And we fucking went after it as a group. You know what I mean? A lot of it was like cross line too. People not even in hierarchy, and we just like that, you know, like fuck, let's get after this thing. And we would push each other and motivate each other. You know, we met at shit like this. So it's a fun fucking industry that comes with lots of headaches. But
What do you think about like our model of business as far as, because it's been picking at my brain of like what we should do with like the PNC side.
yeah,
PNC is a lot.
it is a lot.
Should we focus on like delegating it to the agents or kind of keep doing it ourselves? Because right now we're doing it ourselves.
Do you get anything out of it relative to what you put into it?
Honestly, it's so much work that you sell probably a few supplemental policies, life insurance, whatever it is, you make double it.
Yeah.
Why are you in that space? Like, what is it? Just where you
We're-
defaulted to?
No, I mean we started
Initially?
with health and life, and then
You added it.
a lot of the people were asking us for PNC, so we were referring it out.
Clients?
To the people, yeah.
Really?
So
Okay.
people we would refer it out to would keep our
Interesting.
commission, and we're like, why are we losing out on all this commission?
I mean, you sell a $10,000 premium for a house. It's like $1,100 right there.
In
So how
commission.
many of those are you gonna do?
We
Yeah.
gave out a lot of those,
Do you?
and the guy never gave us any.
$50.
Not even.
Really?
Here's $25 for the referral. We're
Stop
like,
it.
damn, you just made $1,000 off what I sent you.
Can you find someone that will do a legit split with you? You can split business in that spot too, right? You split business in that space? What do you mean? What's that mean?
Like, I don't know.
If I'm fucking contracted with Progressive and you're with Progressive, can we both be on the app and both get paid?
No, it's only one person.
Only one person can get
One
paid.
person that goes directly to the agency, which will be us.
But y'all pay them direct. Y'all pay like LOA.
Like let's say if it's a new business, client agent closed a policy, we give them 60% on new business and 40% on the
So if I sell PNC and I work for another agency, I get the money, but I can't cut you in on it unless I pay you directly after the fact.
There's no direct pay.
Yeah. When you say y'all got a lot of them, how? When you're selling life and health, how do you?
We have 1,000 clients active in health.
I know, but how did you get a lot of people looking? Was it because it was part of your discovery? So you just, I didn't get a lot of people asking because it wasn't part of my discovery. Does that make sense? So they weren't like waving me down to.
I mean, Like let's say we helped out. You did such a good job with the health insurance.
Do you have? Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
they'll just
you know,
come back and.
I mean, I suppose if I look at the thousands of people I've seen, I've probably had a lot of them too. I just couldn't help but look at the time spent over there fucks me up over here. And I didn't want to learn all of them. I don't want to know how the inner workings of Medicare. I just don't think you can consume that much and be an expert in all of them. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. What's the closest thing I can think of?
Yeah,
Sports.
I couldn't.
You ever see, do y'all watch sports?
watch sports.
Like, do you pay attention?
Yeah.
So I don't even pay attention a lot. Now, I assume you'll hear this frequently because you hear it often if you pay attention because I hear it enough and I don't ever watch it. But you ever see like football guys that think they can be in the NBA? And NBA guys that think they can be in the NFL? Have you ever seen them like bicker over that shit? Yeah, they fuck with each other. It's like, how can you be amazing at the NFL and the NBA at the same time? I don't know a lot of people that fucking kill it at both. And I know a lot of people try. I've seen like big ass companies do it with time because like they find someone and you're in charge of that division and you build that division up. I've seen that work. I don't know many people that like I sell life, and I can give you names, but I don't want to fucking.
I think that's what we should do. Just make it a department and kind of.
Yeah.
Because that's how the other PNC agents do it.
Yeah,
That's how
it's
they
like its
build.
own entity.
It is, yeah.
For me, I didn't want to run two entities at the same time. I mean, I technically do now. We got a lot going on behind the scenes. It all feels like one big one to me because it all complements each other really well. But I certainly had plenty of opportunities to sell health and I'm fucking licensed in it. And certainly people enough would ask me about others' car, and especially like seniors. Again, I wouldn't say I had an overwhelming amount, but I probably a couple times a week, people would ask. But if I spend time a couple times a week to move that volume,
It's like you said earlier.
I'm going to miss other volume.
How much time are you spending on
Yeah,
that one thing?
and I'm not great at it, so it's a little slower. The process a little more. I don't know, dude. It's not like we haven't thought of that.
It's something that has to be delegated.
I just didn't want to fuck with it. Yeah, I still have people ask me to this day why I don't do health and PNC and all that stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know, this bitch keeps working. And I know a lot of people that do well in PNC, but it takes forever. It takes them like fucking 15 years before they make any money. And I didn't want to build that thing. And I'm not saying that's a perfect decision, but it was a very intentional one. I'm okay sacrificing other money opportunities. It's no different than if, I don't know, you sell cars and you run a fucking, what's your favorite car type? Like if you pick a car. You have any car you want, what are you buying?
Ferrari.
All right, so you sell Ferraris and someone comes in and they want a fucking, I don't know, a Porsche. But you sell Ferraris. Do you then shut down your showroom and go find a Porsche to get this guy? You know what I mean? But you do when they want home coverage and not health. You shut down your health operation and you go start to do a PNC operation because you can't simultaneously, you physically do both at the same time. So for me, that was a very active decision to just be like, I'm just going to me, it wasn't extra money. It cost me money to switch gears. And so I intentionally stayed away from it. I've had a motherfuck ton of people approach me, do partnerships and all kinds of stuff. And I don't do really well in partnerships either, I've learned. I've tried to kind of get in business with some people and like, hey, you do this and I'll do this and we'll chop it up. And dude, that's gone fucking to shit like 5 times in my life. And I'm like, this is fucking dumb. You know what I mean? People don't hold up their end of the bargain and it just, I don't like to. I'm really simple. And that seems complicated to me. You know what I mean? But if you have the ability to maybe you can run an operation better than I can. I'm not a real big operational guy. That's not what my strength per se. I like to keep things simple and duplicatable. So I could see it working, I could figure it out. But if it were me, I'd find someone. But then see, I even go to pretend to find someone, and in my head, I don't want to find someone. Like I just deflated myself thinking about how I would do it. And to me, it's not worth it. So I think I wouldn't do it. What I think y'all should do is decide who you want to be in the space and run with it. And if you want to be both, just, I just find it hard to be an expert in both. Or maybe you run one side and you run the other side.
That's kind of basically how we
You
run.
know?
He is running most of the things.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad thing.
It's
It's just going to be hard to not cross over each other, step on each other's toes. You're going to have to figure out that dynamic. But if I were to do it anyway, I'd do it. Y'all would be each other's partner. And you refer him business, he refers you business. I would pick that first over anything. Versus try to create this whole thing with another person and have all these guidelines and rules and documents and signatures and attorneys and legal shit in place. That would be required to do it the right way. That's tough when you still haven't established where you want to be over here. You know, I don't know. It's like juggling too many things for me can be. I've seen it mess people up more than I've seen it help them grow. You know, so you just got to think long and hard about how important is it to you to have all of it. You know that dude Pete Fournier? Ever seen him? Some people know him. His fucking title, his name of his company is All Things Insurance. You watch it, and I love him. He's one of my favorite people. You watch his social, he's like, if you aren't doing literally everything, health, P&C, fucking supplement, ACA, in his eyes, you're a dipshit. But it works for him. He doesn't have...
I bet he probably has like a department for each, of course. And I think
He's
that's
just
only
he's really good at he's smart as fuck. He's a really good sales guy, and he balances. He doesn't really have. He runs the whole thing. Pete Fournier. It's like Four, I think. Yeah, Fourn, something like that. Yeah, he's a good dude, but he's been in the bit. I mean, he can sell $100,000 a month in life like this, but he's never really scaled something to the size he wants. In my opinion, because he's touching a lot of things. And I tried to work with him for a little while, and he was reaching out for help for a little while, and I tried to get him, and he wants to do his own thing, and he wants to be the all insurance guy. That's his vision. I'm like, fuck, more power to you, dude. And one day, he'll be like, bitch, this worked. It's just a slower build. You know, if you watch his journey, again, he makes good money, but I know people that make significantly more and been in the business a lot less time, you know? And
One line of business.
yeah, I could name thousands of people killing it in one spot, building something big. I can't even name one that's an individual. I could pick a company, but even the companies that do it don't do it well. Pick a national brand that does all of it. They usually suck ass at one of them. The P&C people that sell life, they suck at life. I replace the shit out of that stuff. You know what I mean? So I just see for me more negatives than positives of it. And I don't want to be all things. And it's for me, it wasn't that. It's like, let me build this thing, let me build it big and kind of go from there. So tough to answer, you know, but I would hunker down and go, how important is it to you to have all of it? And if you could pick one to do, if you had to pick it in 3 seconds, I'm only going to do one. Which one would it be? 3, 2, 1. You can't pick one? If you could only pick, would it be health?
I think health is where we started.
Something to be said there. You know what I mean? So how important is building the P&C side when you know you can stack the shit out of the health side? What's your confidence level in building a profitable health side versus your confidence level in building a profitable P&C side? We're going to scale a 1 to 5. How confident are you on the health side?
10.
P&C side, 1 to 5.
3.
So you're dicking around with something you're not even that good at either. You know, I think you'd be better off finding a real relationship that you can refer a business. Y'all seem like you're good in that world and the tabletops and networking stuff. There's no way you can't find a good P&C guy and you all refer business back and forth. They send you health, you send them P&C. If I were going to do it, I'd find that person first. No partnership. I bet you could. If you put stuff on, if you were more intentional. It's like, how many health people have you talked, or how many P&C people have you talked to this about in your area?
There's actually no lot.
Not one.
Not one?
Oh, the only one that wouldn't give us anything.
Yeah. So it's like, you haven't really talked to many about it. There's someone out there. There's someone else out there on the other side of the coin. Doing the P&C side, trying to dick with the health side. They're having the same struggle you are, but their confidence level on the P&C is a fucking 20. And their confidence level on the health side is fucking 2. You just got to find the opposite. You know? So you start looking at stuff like that, go to events that carry more P&C people. I mean, I can connect you with a couple guys that do P&C in the space. I know some good people in that space. You know, quality people. Like, and then now some of the ones I know a lot of people, so I don't know how in the line you'll be for referral business. But if you want some good quality P&C people, I know a couple guys that do really well at it. But y'all can find someone. I mean, local area, put on an event, put on some type of insurance event, put something on.
To put some sort of,
Yeah.
not only to bring, find new agents as well, kind of connect the community.
Yeah. You'll find better luck that way. Just find one that naturally works versus legal and paperwork and all that shit. Like, find a respectable referral business. I would see that being cleaner. You know? So. Where you at, bro? You went to Never Never Land right there. I watched it. Huh? I don't know. Was it anything good, or was it we can't talk about it? What you got, KG? You missed the morning. You want to catch up? Something you need to know you didn't find out today?
I got my questions out.
You got it out? Came in, got it, and done. I love it. I love it. Okay. New goals for next quarter. New goals for next quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. 90-day run. When's our next one? How many days out? Is it, what are we, June, all of July, all of August?
October.
So we got 4 months? 120 days, something like that? Is that what we did, 4 months? Is that what we're doing? 3 a year. We're doing 3 a year, not 4 a year. Right now? Is that what the pacing is?
Yeah.
3 a year? Cool. A lot can be done in 4 months. You know what I mean? Like Arturo said, though, summertime's funny. You know what I mean? We all got a lot going on. Agents have a lot going on. It's like, but if you can establish a nice base going into this upcoming season, you blow the fuck up. 4 months, a lot of time to do some damage. You know, so let's be super intentional. Obviously, if I can help along the way, you got questions. Again, some of y'all are in coaching already and fucking ask them all the time. But if not, don't be shy. Continue to.
Offline, I want to kind of go into the details.
I want to understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I don't understand that specific detail of but yeah, I would love to understand the dynamic for sure. So just let's set up a time to talk. What's today? It's Wednesday. Something like that. I don't know. With chat, when y'all going back? Friday? Yeah, let's set up. Am I here next week? Am I here next week? Am I here next week? I am. Yeah, I don't travel till July. So yeah, let's set up a time, maybe early next week when you get back. I mean, again, you can call me whenever. If you want to sit down in a little window and we just knock it out. Love to figure it out. See how I can help. Hey, when did we? I remember them old school opportunity meetings. Yeah. When did we have to? So when did we stop doing? Remember when he used to have us fly around doing all them fucking things? That was only a couple years ago, 2 or 3. Yeah. Something like that. So at the FFL level, at one point, dude, he took all of the managers, and anyone was getting a bonus, and we mapped out opportunity meetings all across the country. So we'd have like 100 a week at the same time, all across the country, and we'd pick who went where to run it. So we'd take the map and go, here's all the locations. John, you go to fucking Ohio and Florida this week. You go to fucking Tennessee and Texas this week. You go here and here. And we'd originally it started at home. And we just do them at home. But as it blew up, we were like, fuck it, let's fly around and do this. And you can get a bunch of people in the room, I'll come do it. Yeah. So you just gather the people, I come do the presentation. So we got to that point too. And then
Your team's out of the state.
we were doing it internally for people that weren't even our teams. Oh, wow. We decided as a company we're all going to help each other do it. Because there's more power in me doing it instead of him doing it if he knows all the people.
Yeah.
If he doesn't know the people, who cares? Right? But if you get a lot of people that you do know, it's more powerful for someone else doing it.
Yeah, because you can hype.
The dynamic is totally different. Yeah. So we decided as a company, we're like, fuck it, we're going to do all over the country. And we would tag team it. We'd all just go everywhere. You know what I mean? It'd be a run. There'd be 100 a week. And we'd look at what it did for the whole company. So the mini version of that is you do it first. And then when he gets, it's like, why do y'all got to do it together? Go run your own. You run yours, you run yours. You know what I mean? And as an agency, we go like, all right, you do Tennessee this week, you do Alabama, you do Florida, you go to fucking South Carolina. Everybody does it Wednesday at 7 o'clock next week. And everybody pushes everybody. And you all run ads everywhere there's one of the meetings. So you run ad in all the states they're going to be in, you run ads in all the states they're going to be in, and anyone you send to his, you tell him about, and you know what I mean? You tell them, go meet Giovanni. Giovanni's running it. Go meet, he's the fucking dog, dude. He's killing it. Go meet him. And you do the same thing to him. And you send all your, and you just do that as a group. And we just played that game really fucking good together. And then afterwards, we call it, yo, this was the one. That other one, dipshit. Don't fuck with them. This one, this the one. That's the one you want to watch. And we would try to identify people for the ones that sent them, knowing I could send someone to their meeting and they do the same thing for me. So it just became a mutual understanding we were going to help each other. Not my agency, it was totally different agencies, but under FFL umbrella. It's one of the ways we blew up the company. Yeah. I mean, people are looking for opportunities to make extra money, you know? And so here's how it works. Here's how the plan works. You do it part-time, full-time. You tell your story. That's it. Talk about how you got into insurance. You explain how the model works. Here's carriers, here's leads, here's comp. Do the math on how to get paid on $1,000 premium. You know, fucking 75%. Do. There's the math. Go. And it's a wrap. Then you end it. Anybody have any questions? Come up, let me know. We didn't really do a ton of open because it can get a little chaotic. If you're good, you can run an open Q&A there. But if you're new, it's like, careful. Don't let the new, you know what I mean? And a lot of people come up, and some people run out the fucking door in a second. And Mike would always make a joke. He'd be like, all right, now that you're all here, all right, girls, close the doors and get the money collection hats. And I always had to laugh at it. You know what I mean? Because people are like walking into a hotel room late at night. You know, people are like, what the fuck am I walking into? There's always a little fear. So he'd fucking break the ice first. And, you know what I mean? You add that piece, dude. It fucking lights out. And if you can happen to do it in your own office, why the hell not? You know what I mean? But you can do it anywhere. You can literally do it anywhere today. You know, you fucking run them at the office if you want. I don't give a shit. Fucking run one on 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Fucking go do it. Once in a while, you want me to show up and do it? I'll do it. Y'all can use it. You want to run them here? Fucking, there's a space. You know, you figure it out, but you can do them local to you anywhere. That's how you get the most action going. It's a good piece of it. You know what I mean? Some people don't necessarily do it, and they just go straight on social and bring people into a fucking melting pot of young people printing money in an office. That's a cool vibe to be in too. But for the most part, dude, someone's got to be explain the information about the industry. And the average person recruiting sucks ass at it. So if their only job is to get people to the meeting, that's really easy for most people to do. So they literally stay out of the way about explaining anything. Hey, you open an opportunity? Yep. Hey, my company, we do this meeting every week. We have a training, but before the training, we have Mike explains the opportunity to people that are interested. So if you want to come down, watch the training, and then you can leave. There's no pressure. No one's going to charge you for anything. Just come in, ask questions if you have questions, but they're going to explain what we do. He's a fucking killer. He's teaching me to do this. Show up early, introduce yourself. I'll introduce you to Mike. I'll see you there. No pressure. If you don't do it, all good. And there wasn't any pressure. We didn't make it weird. You know what I mean? This is what it is. Here's what we do. Here's where we are. Now we're going to eat. Got questions? Every week, dude. You know, super powerful. A lot of people doing it at the same time.
Should you make it too where they like make an ad and they register so you know how you distribute?
Yeah, fuck yeah, 100%. Because then they'll all be on your email list. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we certainly did that poorly at the beginning, you know. But with more time, I'm like, yo, why don't we check these people in? And, you know what I mean? We had to start creating that stuff. It's like, fuck. How many meetings I did, I didn't get anybody's name.
Basically, run the ads in the area.
Huh?
Run the ads in the area for an opportunity, whatever.
You run ads for sure, and you get people to be talking about it. All the different ways I've talked to people about talking to others about the opportunity, whether friends and family, clients, social, DMs, any of it. You're always pushing people to a meeting. You know
Just
what I mean?
from posting your shit on my story today, I've had 4 people DM me asking me like, "Oh, what's this about?"
Crazy, dude. It's crazy, right? And so at scale, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You get 4.
Yeah.
Now he got how many he got. And, you know what I mean? They start. It's like if I look at our umbrella, this little group we got getting started, y'all be bringing a couple hundred people a week pretty soon. It just will be. You know, it just takes time. That's why I'm like, I wish people would watch it. It's a little quiet in that Discord right now. Keep watching. One day it's gonna fucking pop. You know? Yeah. Yeah. It's a little quiet. I mean, there's people in there. It's not popping yet. It's brand new. You know, it's gonna take time to create momentum and excitement in that thing, and you know, it's part of it. But shit like this. How long have you been doing it? Oh, insurance.
11 years.
Opportunity meetings. That's all you know. Yeah. We used to do them every week. Every week.
No, opportunity meetings twice a day.
Oh, there
When
you
I
go.
was pregnant, I was doing, I ran my full term, I was doing opportunity meetings twice a day, and then a big opportunity meeting in 2 cities, 45 minutes apart, twice a week. In the practice company.
So what company you with?
Mm-hmm.
So what just is your first month? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They just started. Yeah.
2 a day.
And then booking 20 to 30 interviews just to get somebody to come in and get a 25 to 50 name list. To then go on 4 appointments every night to close 2 and get home by like 12 and do it again 7 days a week.
I was looking between.
A lot of places build it that way.
I just came from speaking that in St. Pete.
Get effing paid.
Get effing paid.
Get effing paid.
What up, guys? If you guys are looking to get to a new level in your career, you may have seen that we've been running some workshops in my office in Atlanta. I have them every quarter now. The last one sold out fully. It was a massive success. A couple different levels. You can attend just a general ticket, get you in the door, listen to 2 days of training, interactive, workshop style. We really dive into what you got going on and how to get to new levels. If you're looking to be in a new crowd, higher level up, I have a private mastermind. Last one was at my house. It was insane. All the value that everybody added to each other, and we had a good time. And I heard it was way underpriced relative to what people got out of it. You can check out some of the testimonials here, I'm sure. But if you'd like to attend, click the link below. I do them every quarter. The date will be around here somewhere. Look forward to seeing you there.
If you are in the insurance industry and you're looking to scale and grow your business, I highly encourage you to check John Wetmore out.
Honestly made the cost of the event back in like the first 2 hours of being here. John Wetmore is a beast.
So much value in everything that I've learned here.
It is worth the price of admission. Make sure you get to the next one.
Wow. Works. It's worked forever. Yeah. So there's other little things, but that'd be a big one. A lot of conversations about opportunity. I mean, how many? It's reps. You can get big message to a lot of people saying the same thing. If you get a lot of people to push people towards it. Again, do it online. Do it in person. I like in person stuff, but I wouldn't eliminate online stuff, especially if you're going to start recruiting remotely. Yeah, you can do them as often as you want. So, I like to pack them out. You know, so you do 2 a day and you got 3 people on it. It's not quite as exciting as film, but you can do it. Especially if you're doing it remote. They don't know how many people are on it, not on it. But I would put that in place.
And so I just drove a couple hours up, and people came across.
It gets frustrating when you're the only one trying to bring people there. So that whole thing where I said I stopped training, I stopped doing those too. Because I was the only one pushing people there. So I do the opportunity meeting to be the 3 people I got there and the 8 people I told to get people there. And I'm like, bro, there's, you know what I mean? Like, there's no one to talk. It's all my people. So it got old that way. And so I just had other people start doing them. They were doing them out of state, and I would just show up.
So must be something too. You got the freedom, you got the weather.
It's a big one.
What do you think?
You can like create a really good life.
For me right now, you know where I'm at. Deposits for the month. I want to try to get out 100K.
You're like, what was I doing? I was trying to stay here. I took an 8% raise, and I was like,
To get there what?
Fast possible.
best thing they did.
And I think the same answer. Because do you know what it takes to get you to 100K a month?
Just saying, like,
Right now it's gonna be higher. I mean, I can fucking sell my ass off.
I mean, the way to do it the right way. For you to sell 30, do you know what it takes for you to make the other 70?
oh, that's still up to somebody.
If you bring home 30, sell it. No, I mean, you literally know your number.
My number, like, deposit for me?
No, meaning how much volume do you need to get to deposit the 100 grand?
No, I don't think so.
Figure it out. I can do it. We can do it off the top of our heads. You know what I mean? So again, if you got every 100 grand, what's your spread?
Filler, whatever it is. Like, you like, I got early some.
What's your average spread on a new agent? Okay? Yeah, call it 30. Is 30 a fair number? You can get 30, call it 25 better to use? Okay. So every 100 grand gets you 30?
You should pay, right?
Yeah. So every 100 puts 30. So 200 would be 60. And you're selling 30 on your own. It's 90.
Yes, I was gonna say.
300 grand a month.
Sometimes that's a little bit.
If the structure's right, if it's 300 grand a month and he's fucking 150 of it, ain't gonna work. But if you get 300 direct to you, you know what I mean? And all their stuff is just bonus, right? Because if your spread on him ain't 30, I'm assuming, right? So that leg only gets you 5 or 10 or whatever the spread is. So you can map it out. All right, if I get 100 grand from him at 5 or 10 points, cool, that's 5 or 10 grand. If I get 200 grand by myself at 30 points, that's 60 grand. So I got 60 from me, 5 or 10 from him, 30 from myself selling. I got 100 in a second, dude.
She's really good.
How do you get to 200 direct? 20 people selling? Can you do it with less? Yeah, the dude did it with 6. He did 2 stuff, but that's not average. It's not gonna work out average-wise. 10K a month is a pretty fair, conservative number to use. So go, all right, I need 20 agents selling direct with 30 points.
Plus his volume. Plus his volume.
Plus his personal production right now. Yeah. It's the quickest way to it. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, you gotta get volume, dude.
300.
Yeah. Yep. If you remove anyone recruiting from your mind, they're recruiting on their own. And you add 200 grand outside of whatever they do, you'll be there. And you can knock back 30, 40 grand a month easy on that extra. You know, so 30, 40 over there, 30 recruiting, and a little extra you get now, 5 or 10, whatever it is you're getting over right now.
Stay on top of it. So,
You know? So it's like, all right, how do I get 20 people selling?
not like it's a bad thing, but that's always the biggest hurdle.
You ain't gonna get 20 started to get 20 selling. Probably gonna be at least 100. All right, so now the question is, how can you get 100 people into your funnel, into your, like, to the point where they're getting contracted?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, I need 100. I want to do it by the end of the year. I got 6 months. I get 20 a month. You get 4 or 5 a week. Contracted, selling. So basically, you need every day. You need to get someone on the phone. Every day, can you get someone new on the phone?
On the phone?
Yeah. To get someone new on the phone every day, what do you got to do? I get someone in class every day. At least I got to get someone getting a license every day. Well, I got to get someone contracted every day. That's the right? So to get 1 day of contracted, you're probably going to have to send contracting to more than 1 a day. Right? To get someone to get licensed, you want it ain't 1 a day getting licensed, ain't going to get 1 a day contracting. A couple day popping out of licensing. How do you do that? Shove fucking 10 in. You know what I mean? And you start that process now, start filling it, they'll start spitting out on the other end in a few months. If you're only putting in a couple on the front end, what you're spitting out is going to be 1 here or there. You know? So, yeah. Handful of people a week getting the contracting process. If you're net writers, your total writers, if you can make it go up 5 a month, change your fucking world, dude. 5 writers a month. You add 5 writers a month. And then what's he got to do? Add 5 writers a month. That nets you up 10 total. 5 points over here, 20, 30 over here. Cool. So I just promoted, can we do 5 a month? Why? It's 1 a week. If you do less, it's 0. So can we go with 1? I've pitched it that way for 10 years.
What if the person you're trying to hire isn't hiring? Should you move on and focus on somebody else hiring?
Yeah. If they ain't hiring, what the fuck do you talk about? You just don't talk about hiring with them. Now, if they're not hiring and they want to talk about hiring, you're like, why are you asking me? You don't hire. No, but if I did, if you do, you let me know. I'm certainly talking to them about why not doing it hurts them. You know what I mean? But if they want to live that way and they want to be in sales, more power to you, dude. But he's not allowed to bitch ever. You can't complain about your team size. You can't complain about overrides. You can't complain about you have to sell to do everything. If you don't bring, you can't complain about that shit. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to beat him over the head to recruit. We're just never going to talk about it. And how long do I need to talk to him about selling? How much sales information do you need to give him? Okay, if y'all, you two, literally specifically, if you two aren't talking about building, what the fuck are you talking about? And are you okay with that relationship? If it's just talking about the sun and the weather and the new shoes you got and dinner and, you mean, you don't have to talk about selling, rare. And if you ain't talking about building, you just want to be like weird friends who are in the same business together but don't do business at all together? It's fucking awkward. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be that weird. It's like, I don't know, if they ain't recruiting, what the fuck do you talk about? You know what I mean? Like if you didn't recruit now, what on earth would we talk about? We don't talk about sales ever.
So fucking hired.
So if you stop bringing people to the table, I'll be like, bro, same answer as last month. You know?
So like yes. What if somebody's put in the activity?
And they just suck at it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I can fix that.
No activity. Fuck.
Yeah. If he sucks at the train, I prefer that. I'm like, he's good at bringing people, but he ain't good at converting them. I'm like, keep bringing people, dude. Stop talking to him after you bring them, though. Stay out of the fuck away. I got it. I'll build his whole team for him. If he's going to keep bringing the people, I'll build the shit out of it. Now, if he can't manage it, I'm only going to do that so much. If I build it for him and then he fucking lets it go to shit, I'm like, I'm out. But if he's bringing people to the table, I'm in. They're direct to me anyway. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you got at least a little bit, and you can get yours up enough to get a little more spread. I know that for sure, right? You climb, you can separate and build a bigger spread on him regardless. So if you're building and he's not, you're naturally going to get more on that leg anyway. You know, and if he does build a little bit and doesn't build a ton, for him to catch you is going to be hard because he's going to have a decent sized team to catch you. So if you're only helping him with 2, 3, 4, 5 people, it doesn't hurt you a ton because you keep the spread. And you're just like, hey, call dipshit about this. I'll manage everything. And you can do the majority of the work and just let him keep bringing people to the table, sell, and do his thing. You know what I mean? But he suddenly wants to manage 30 people. You can't do it for free. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, I need you to step up a little bit. I need you to help over here. You know, but early on, dude, I looked at every person I ever even interviewed, much less hired. Every person I've talked to, I look at as a recruiter for me. Still to this day. I mean, you can recruit for me now. You can all do it. You know, but in my eyes, everyone I work with has access to people I don't. So for me, I'm like, can I use that as a conduit to new people? You know, and if I can, cool. Let me do my part. You do your part, which right now is bring people to the table. Let me do my part, which is teach him the rest. And again, if he's good at his piece, which I'm not saying he's not, okay, you teach this piece, and then you slowly give more responsibility to the people. You know what I mean? It's no different than this. We're doing some stuff, but I'm gonna keep giving you shit to do. Eventually, you won't need us for a lot of it. You know what I mean? And the relationship gets easy then. We just talk about dumb shit and all the money and you know what I mean? The fucking retarded stories we can relate to that no one else understands. It's totally different conversations. When you get a couple of us in a room, it's like, holy fucking we can cut up about some stuff that you just can't have generic conversations. Like y'all don't even see half the shit that happens. So those are a lot of the conversations now with some of my buddies. I'm like, yo, I got some shit to tell you. Can I fucking spill it right now? You know what I mean? You can't, it's hard to bitch to. We deal with a lot of stuff that warrants bitching sometimes. You just gotta be careful who you do it with. So I got a couple of buddies. I'm like, you ain't gonna believe this shit. You can get it off your chest and move on with your day. I'm like, all right, dude, talk to you later. Thank you. A little therapy session, I move the fuck on. You know, Mike and I we played that with each other though. But no one knew. Any drama going on, we kept it between him and I. But if he needed to vent about dumb shit you did or I need to vent, we just do it together. You know, which, you know, we're gonna be like, bro, we've had a couple little conversations, nothing crazy. But on that, dude, I wouldn't overcomplicate the rest. An army of people into your world. You know, promote the shit out of it, show up every day, even when nobody shows up to the event. You know, the chances you bringing 100 people into your first one probably ain't big, unless you way overspend. You know what I mean? But you don't have to do that. You can build it slow. You know what I mean, get 10 people in the room the first time, it's fucking win. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, just work on it every week. And when it starts catching momentum, who wants to do this? Copy and paste. You know what I mean, anyone can do it. It's not that deep. Tell your story, talk about how you got in the business. Explain how you get paid. Wash, rinse, repeat. You know, I'd put that in.
Put their information in again, and it's like,
and then just shoot for that target, dude. 200K direct to you. 200K that you got 30 points on.
I'm waiting for somebody to say, dude, I'm tired of burning.
That's the first. It's like, can you do that by October? 200K, 30 points by October. It's possible. For sure. It's fucking 20 people. It's not 400. You know? And everything else anyone else does on your team between these couple, it's fucking cherry on top.
Just showing people how to do it, and then.
But people get excited about that stuff. It'll fuel you guys too. You get around and you start seeing some new hungry people that just want to win. And you ain't got to be that good. And they'll be like, holy fuck, you're all fucking rock star. Because, you know what I mean? Because you're doing, even if you aren't satisfied with where you're at, relative to the average person that's going to come into a meeting like this, you're fucking killing it. You know? So it helps confidence in your group too. You know, and then you can get up and bring people up front for a minute. Be like, hey, this dude's been with me this long. He got started. Hey, you know what I mean? You can, like the concept of a panel, where you can kind of, sometimes we would have people up and have a few people, we'd line up with him at the end, and he would have each one of us, he'd be like, all right, Wetmore, can you just real quick, how long you been in the business, what you did before, where you're at now? Hey, my name's John, I got started with him 6 months ago, I'm an accountant, I do it part-time, making like $4 grand a month part-time. The next person would go. And just real quick intros. You go down the line, kind of reiterate what he just said, kind of validate what the dude just talked about. You know what I mean? And we're social proof that it worked for us. I was in one of these meetings. I came to this. I thought it was weird as shit too, but here we are. You know what I mean? It validates everything that you're doing for the people who have somewhat of interest, and they're like,
I mean, it works.
why are they trying to scam me? They still haven't figured it out yet. You know what I mean? It's still like, that helps.
People like
So.
that. Like, you like, okay.
Yep.
So it kind of feels like you're winning too, because like
Makes sense.
like, yeah, I did too.
Hi guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did not attend the previous one, I have them every quarter now. If you want to make it to that one, you can use the coupon code YouTube for 15% off. JohnWetmore.com/workshop. You can always register for the next one. See you guys later.